What's up, guys? Back in the garage again today, changing that seal that's bad on the Lexus. The one that keeps making it leak, even though we've changed all the seals that you would think would make it leak. Yeah, we're changing that. So we got Drew over here. He's doing all the hard stuff. I'm just kind of filming and watching. So we got that front timing cover off. I'll show you that right now. It was a little struggle, but not too bad. Now we're cleaning up the front of the gear so we can make our marks, so we put it all back together the way it's supposed to go. So I'll show you that real quick, and then we'll move it along. Show the people what they want to see, Drew.
Do it. A lot of people are probably gonna be like, why are you doing this
Why are you doing it? Well, because I don't want to take the front of the motor apart. That's why. Yeah,
Boy.
Said use a razor blade. See how it's torn right there?
Where?
Right
Okay.
here.
Showing videos.
A tear in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what caused the leak. So, if you ever wanted to know what's inside the VVT gear on a 2J, this is it. So essentially, if you go down this route, you can sneak it off with the gear still in the car. You don't have to take it all the way off. The gears are keyed. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you have got those fat gears. They only go inside, you know, they're keyed with those other gears, right? And on the front pulley, it's the same way. You got one more gear in there. You can kind of see right down here-ish. If I can get my pointer finger up in here, right there. That key is the only way it can slide on. So as long as you mark your cam, the actual, I don't know, I guess you want to call it cam gear itself, as long as you mark that and you line up your cover plate the exact way it came off, we should be in the clear. We shouldn't have to worry about any kind of timing issues anyway, because these gears only mesh one way. If we were to take it all the way out, you could put that small inner gear in upside down, and that would be bad news bears, but we didn't take it off. So in theory, we should be good. We're gonna, we have another one we can take apart on the bench and kind of show you in a little bit more detail, but I mean, this kind of gets you where you need to be. But we'll kind of get it put back together, and we'll touch back then. Alright guys, you can see on the pulley, before we took it apart, we made a mark here to line that guy back up. So we marked the inner side, and there's an actual cut on the pulley down here, and there's a hole itself on the inside of the pulley. You can't really see it. There we go. You can kind of see where our mark is there. Those two are lined up, so we should be ready to fire it up and see what happens. Moment of truth, as they say. All right, let's go ahead and crank her on up. Hey. Didn't blow up. All right, so we're gonna let it run for a little bit. Probably 10 or 15 minutes, get it warm, and then kill it and see if that seal is leaking. Hope to have good news when we return. That means we did our job right, and then actually fix this 2J from leaking oil out of the front of the motor, engine, so to say. People get mad when you call it a motor. But yeah, so we'll check back with you. Hopefully we got good news to report. Good news, we've run the engine for, I don't know, what do you say, Drew? 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Cycled the fans, well, the fans cycled twice, so we know the engine got to op temp for sure. And, you know, there's no pool of oil underneath this gear like there would normally be. And remember, we had done all this before. We had taken this is a brand new timing belt, brand new cam seals behind these valve covers. We had done the whole job, right? We thought we knocked it out. It was going to be good to go. You know, we did some fun stuff with the wheels and some what are those things? Roll center adjusters.
Yeah, the roll center.
Right. So we did some fun drifty boy stuff, and then took it for a ride to see what it felt like. And then we had the oil. I don't know. Did Drew clean it up?
Nope.
No. Yeah. See, so we had all this oil spraying under the hood, and the reason we noticed it, I smelled oil burning on the exhaust. So we realized, okay, we got a problem, and we thought we were going to have to take this whole job back apart and do it all over again. But if you want it bad enough, you can take this gear apart on the car. It only goes back together one way. So as long as you make sure that you get your marks lined up, you know, make sure you've got your U marked, make sure you've got a mark there, and then for good measure, probably mark one of your bolts. That'll ensure that you have your gear clocked properly, because the gears, remember, like I said earlier, the gears can only go in one way, but once you have it together and these bolts aren't in, you could actually rotate the whole assembly and then put it back together, and you would be off time damaging valves. But as long as you make sure you mark everything, put it back together just the way it came off, you should be good to go. We got one over here on the bench that Drew had one from his shop, because he does this day to day for a living. I don't know why he comes to my house and does it, but that's another story. But this is what is behind that plate, is this O-ring right here. This one was leaking. You can see how flat it is off of this gear. They had just replaced the whole gear, because Toyota says these are non-serviceable, so they don't want you taking this apart. We replaced this gasket on Drew's car. The first go round, we reused it again. Just make sure you torque it to factory spec. You'll be fine. It's not like it's been on there for, you know, 5 years and it's been heat cycled a bunch if you've made the mistake like we have and you're having to redo it. So just torque it to the factory spec, which is 60 foot-pounds. You should be good to go there. This was Drew's. You can see it's actually broken, which is why his was leaking so badly. Was this one leaking that bad, Drew?
Yeah, it was. Just, I think it was more of the cam seal actually behind here, not so much so this O-ring that's on there.
Gotcha.
So, but this one's, obviously, like, this one's, like, super petrified. It probably won't break, but, like, you can see. Like,
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to do that to an
No,
O-ring.
there you go.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, that's terrible. It's just not going to work.
Nope.
Yeah.
But it can be done, guys. You don't have to take the whole front of the motor back apart. It's, you know, save yourself the trouble of taking the radiator and the fans everything out your way. It can be done.
Just make sure you do it.
That's it.
Do it.
Just do it the first time, and you don't have to worry about it like we did. So that's going to do it for this video. If you like the content, give it a like. If you got something to say, give me a comment. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Again, I appreciate you guys coming by and watching. Thanks. Bruh, just